Good evening. Good evening. That's what I said. We go to... That's what I said. We got a lot tonight. That's what I said. Quit copying what I'm saying. That's not nice. Oh, yeah. All right. See if Leslie gets in here. I'll show him my roasted radishes. Oh, that's really good. It's a lot different than regular radishes, which I'm not a big fan of. A little overdone. It's all right. Still good. Where are we going? This is Rita. She's like in her 80s. She's going to take us down the Colorado River.
This video is about my paddleboard trip down the Colorado River during historic lows. And I started at Dewey, which is about 40 miles north of Moab, and took out at Hiddle. It was 7.5 river miles. I ended up being all by myself and never saw a soul except for one fisherman on the edge at one point. I got my paddleboard blown up, and I had bought a kayak seat for it, which I had to glue D-rings on to hold it. And as soon as I sat down, one of them popped, so the kayak seat didn't work for me that day. But I managed the trip anyway. You can see how flat the water is, but there is a current of about 2 miles an hour. This shows how low the water is this year. It was bathtub warm. This is a short video showing Dewey, and up here, right there's the new Dewey Bridge.
New Dewey Bridge.
Suspension bridge there.
Oh, yeah.
This is kind of famous in the area. Water is so low.
This is mighty Colorado, man. It's way down.
It's fastened. Okay, you're on camera. See, it's on it's fastened. Okay, now what time is it?
Bon voyage. It's 20
Okay, we'll see.
Okay. You're not going very far, so I think you'll get it.
I do too.
Get out there and
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you. Will I see you tonight? Okay. Okay. Thank you for helping her. We're on the river. get everything too wet. Okay. Let's try it again. We
Wonder why they don't make paddle boards with seat.
go too fast. We are on the river. This is flat water. $140. Ripples. Let's get some of the nervousness out. Let's see how far I've gone. Can't even see now. Wow, the water is warm.
Probably hot. Been 100 degrees.
You can see the bottom.
Really?
Where'd it go?
That's crazy.
I don't see where it goes.
Still moving along.
Where's it go? Right there? supposed to go through here?
She can't see where the river is. I'm pretty sad. You certainly need some snow and rain.
Man alive. Let's get this. Wow, you just don't know what this looks like until you're here. This is heaven.
Pretty.
No, it's shallow.
Mighty Colorado. Dried up.
Let's take a few pictures. So it's one, do two.
Good morning.
It's 2 mile an hour current, so in 2 hours I go 4. So if I paddle,
How are you doing?
I will
I
go
got something to show you.
faster. I can go 3 mile an hour.
Roasted
So it's 2 hours.
radishes. Hey, good afternoon. Yeah. Roasted radishes are pretty good. It's really weird what's going on. The radishes are growing like carrots.
There's the road.
They're good. Put a little olive oil and salt. I guess I could have put some garlic powder. But I really don't like to fry stuff with garlic powder because it burns. But they're really good. A little overdone. But they don't taste burnt. If you had an air fryer, it takes the heat out of them for sure. So that's my only radishes I'm going to have this year. Looks like there might be a couple more, but all the rest, like they weren't grown deep enough. Nice. I'm eating tacos. 3 days of tacos. I got 2 tacos a day. Some chopped lettuce. I got the dehydrator working on a bunch of parsley. Just this week, the parsley just decided to go wild. It was good. Man, I talked to Rhonda last night. That's some really fucked up shit. And she was explaining to me that you can test for it. Harder to test for than like salmonella. But she said there was 8,000 reported cases in climbing. That's some. They're probably trying to push radiation. That's what they're probably doing. Everything's a joke, man. I thought this is Rita. I think she's older than me. She's going down to Colorado by herself. And she does some really remarkable videos. I haven't seen her in 3-4 months, but I think the last one we watched, she was shearing sheep.
It's a pretty good current. 3 to 4 miles an hour. So
And the road will be coming up on the left that runs into Moab. What a beautiful drive, I'm telling you. So that's the latest on that. I don't know what to say. They're saying it's a parasite. Nice. Sounds very, very yummy. She's pretty smart lady. So she bought an inflatable paddleboard, inflated it up. You can see a little.
This is pleasant.
Yeah, you can see a little bit of
Pleasant.
river moving right there. But she glued on these D-rings so she could put like a kayak seat in there, and she just got it in the water and it broke. So
Gone mile.
getting right along. I think a paddleboard, sitting on a paddleboard is a lot more stable than a kayak. It's just the water's hot. Well, it's been 100 degrees there in this. You can see how low the river is. Yeah, that sounds really good.
Either the GoPro's gonna work or it's not. I wonder where they've stationed themselves.
She couldn't find where the river was going. Well, up in them mesas, boy, there are people living there for thousands of years. And they used to grow right on the Colorado Plateau there. Anyways, roasted radish, fried radish. I think they'd be better roasted myself. I am rad, but boy, that dinner taste sounds like it'd be pretty tasty. I don't know what I'm going to do next. Yeah, figure something out for tomorrow. Get through a couple days. I'm having watermelon. My watermelon's going. I think I picked that up Saturday. Well, this one's starting to go, so I got to eat what I can.
I just stick it in here.
That's pretty cool. I like Rita's work. Kind of simple, relaxing. Oh, there was one more. You guys cooling down there? I might not be able to finish this before it goes completely bad. There ain't a whole lot left. But I certainly don't like wasting. Guess if it goes bad, it ain't wasting. I'm cooling down. 74 computer says 75. The humidity went way down, 54%. I only see no smoke. Wow. That ain't too hard to take.
God. The keys cannot get one. Cannot get one.
I'm surprised she ain't running into the river raptors. There's a lot of companies here. These school buses, usually a trailer. Big business.
I need to stand.
Big old boulder fell. That's a surprise when you see a big boulder fall off them mesas, boy. I think that's pretty neat.
Need to stand.
Clouds are kind of weird. They don't look too natural to me. A lot of pollen in the water.
All the first part of this is only in the first couple of miles, and I had more current in the beginning. I thought I would move quicker. I had estimated 2.5 hours in my head, not ever having been on there. But as the afternoon went on, the current got less. Some hard winds came up and literally stopped me dead in the water. I wasn't moving forward. So I also needed to stand, and I was looking for a place that I could get out and stand. But this is it. This is what it mostly looked like. So I decided
was
to
getting
just
to the
stop
good
here.
part.
Even though I have got more footage, I think you would be bored to tears. This is what the trip was. Hope you enjoy.
I got one coming up here. Just somebody read her a love note. All righty. God got sued. Gotta get your spelling right with Rita, former school teacher. God got sued. Excuse me. We'll go see what this is up. What's up with this? I think a preview of Bonneville. I don't remember the car. What do you think of that? Alcohol. I don't think they run nitro. Some do. What do you think of a nitro car with a transmission? They're pretty. Oh, there you go. You ain't been there in a long time. Boy, you see some beautiful, beautiful cars. My favorite is still the 50cc motorcycle class, man. I got cars going by me 400 mile an hour. Them 50cc bikes, man, they're crazy. With a grown man on it, busting 100 mile an hour. That might be nitro. It's a little poppy. This ain't very long. They're just going to show them taking off. And then we'll move on. God got sued. That's the tower. So the tower can't see where the car is once they get 2 miles out. Boy, there's a lot of smoke. This ain't this year, though. A lot of smoke. There you go, 8 miles. You can see the curve. I can see it anyway. He stays there long enough, the car will disappear. He don't sound like he's really in it that hard. You gonna be there? We'll be there for a little while.
Introducing the Power Shears by Wood
What a
Ranger,
cool
the
place.
easiest, fastest way to cut stems and branches
Better
without
get
hurting
there
your
and
hands.
see it, though.
Let's face it, normal shears are hard on your hands,
'Cause,
slow, and can't handle thicker branches unless you
they're
lug
still
around those
taking the
clunky
salt out
two-handed
of there.
monsters. Meet the future of cutting tools, the Power Shears by Wood Ranger. Cut and trim 5 times faster with a tool that's small in size but
All right. God got sued? What do you mean? Well, we'll find out.
I've spoken before about unusual court cases, ones involving ghosts, or who can forget the times domesticated animals were put on trial. But I've never spoken about lawsuits filed against God, which not only exist, but in contrast to those other cases, which lie firmly in the past, the cases against God are all within living memory, which I suppose makes sense. The further back in time you go, the less you'd want to make yourself known as an opponent of God. So, how did God fare in these lawsuits? Is it worth suing him? In 1969, in Arizona, USA, Betty Penrose's house was struck by a bolt of lightning and subsequently burnt to the ground, along with all her worldly possessions. A religious person might interpret this as a message from God about the sublunary nature of life here on earth as opposed to the endless bounties of heaven, but Betty Penrose decided she was actually quite fond of her worldly possessions and that God should be held accountable for their destruction. In this regard, Penrose was fortunate to be a secretary to a lawyer, and her boss filed a lawsuit on her behalf seeking $100,000 in damages against God, who the suit alleged was responsible for the maintenance and operation of the universe, including the weather in and upon the state of Arizona, which sort of makes him out to be like a negligent engineer. Oddly, the lawsuit was not filed in Arizona, but in California. Although there was a good reason for this, but you'll have to bear with me. This is an unusual story. You see, in 1966, Lou Gottlieb of the folk group The Limelighters purchased 31 acres of land in Sonoma County, California, and spent the next few years turning it into a hippie free-for-all known as Morning Star Commune. The idea was anyone could come live on this land, and there were basically no rules at all. This did not bring great joy to the neighbours, who complained of noise, nudity, waste disposal, public health conditions, and building code violations. In the face of mounting legal disputes and fines from the county, Gottlieb transferred ownership of the property to God. This happened a week before Penrose's lawsuit against God was filed, and was the reason the suit was filed in California. If God owned property in California, then he could be sued there. However, the Morningstar Commune deed was found invalid, as it was declared that God could not take legal possession or otherwise hold title of the property as the law required. Betty Penrose's suit failed. God must have been pretty happy with that resolution, but this was not the end of his legal troubles. In 2005, he was sued by a man serving 20 years in prison for murder in Romania. Pavel Mircea claimed he had entered a binding contract with God when he was baptized, and although God had happily accepted Mircea's prayers and the money he had spent on candles and other offerings and church services, God had not upheld his part of the deal. According to Mircea, he was supposed to protect me from all evils, and instead he gave me to Satan, who encouraged me to kill. Mircea accused God of fraud, breach of trust, abuse of position of authority, and accepting undue benefits.
Wow.
The public prosecutor's office turned down the case, arguing God did not have an address and was not a person in the eyes of the law. Sounds like they don't have a very high opinion of the homeless in Romania. In 2007, in Nebraska, USA, State Senator Ernie Chambers filed a suit against God, seeking a permanent injunction against God's harmful actions, including fearsome floods, egregious earthquakes, horrendous hurricanes, terrifying tornadoes, pestilential plagues, ferocious famines, devastating droughts, genocidal wars, birth defects, and the like. His flair for alliteration kind of ran out of steam there towards the end. Initially, it was believed that the senator was trying to highlight issues in public access to the court system leading to frivolous lawsuits, but he later clarified he was attempting to demonstrate the exact opposite, that no lawsuit should be dismissed as frivolous and the court should be open to everyone, and basically anyone should be able to sue anyone else. I feel like his case sort of illuminates a bit of an issue with this, though. I mean, if thousands of people filed suit against God until the courts were clogged with these types of cases, does that not sort of compromise the public's access to the courts? The case was eventually dismissed because God could not properly be served with legal process, and Senator Chambers was reportedly happy with this, as it illustrated the legal system already had existing mechanisms to dispose of meritless claims without preventing people from filing them in the first place. Fair enough, but by the time the case made its way to the Nebraska Court of Appeals to be ultimately dismissed, the suit had spent about 13 months in the courts.
Damn.
Very interesting case. I'm not sure what to think of it. Are you with the senator on this, or against? I know one person who'd be loving all these lawsuits against God, the devil. Of course, he's had his day in court too. In 1971, Gerald Mayo, an inmate in Western Penitentiary, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, USA, filed suit against Satan and his staff. The suit alleged that Satan has, on numerous occasions, caused plaintiff misery and unwarranted threats against the will of plaintiff, that Satan has placed deliberate obstacles in his path and has caused plaintiff's downfall, and had therefore deprived him of his constitutional rights in violation of the United States Code. Classic criminal mindset. Everything is everyone else's fault. In fairness to him, I would say whatever lawyer advised this lawsuit was a good idea was definitely to blame for this chapter of Mayo's life. But Mayo represented himself, so it was actually his own fault. The judge first...
A commercial.
I get asked all the time, Dr. Paris, what food should I eat to heal my arthritis? Well, what's more important is what foods you avoid.
Well, I guess we can't complain. We ain't looking at poop or dick hardening drugs.
Destroys your joints.
I guess whatever. Gonna be what it's gonna be.
The judge first expressed serious doubts over whether the Pennsylvania court could exercise jurisdiction over Satan, noting he was a foreign prince, potentially able to claim sovereign immunity. There were further doubts that Mayo's complaint represented a legally actionable claim, and of course Mayo had failed to provide enough information for the U.S. Marshal Service to serve Satan legal process. The case was dismissed. In 1986, Ralph Perry Forbes also sued Satan, alongside the Russellville School District, the Arkansas Department of Education, and the Arkansas Education Association. Why? Well, Forbes was a Christian identity minister and neo-Nazi, like an actual neo-Nazi, as in he was a bona fide member of the American Nazi Party, not because he followed Elon Musk on Twitter or something. Forbes wanted to stop public schools from celebrating Halloween, which he called the Christmas of the Antichrists. In court, Satan was the only defendant to not have legal representation until a local lawyer stepped forward to defend the devil free of charge. That has to be the most damning charitable act of all time. In defense of Satan, John Wesley Hall Jr. argued that there was no evidence Satan transacted business in Arkansas, owned property in Arkansas, or committed any torts in Arkansas. It was found that the schools were allowed to celebrate Halloween, and the entire case was thrown out. So I'm sorry to say, if you were looking for a quick payday, pulling a slip and fall in the house of God probably isn't going to do it for you. At least in the US, the problem seems to be the address at which God can be served papers. So if you can ascertain a postcode for heaven, you might be onto something. If not, you might have to find a real person to blame your problems on. If you liked this video, you can watch more of my other videos, which are in a similar style, but about other interesting topics. You can subscribe to keep seeing more in the future, and
Yes,
you can join the
he's
channel
a young
membership
guy
to
too.
support
I
me
don't think he's
monetarily.
30 years old.
Thank you,
He does
and
a real
until
good
next time,
job. His
stay
channel
safe.
is just exploded.
Ones involving ghosts, or who can forget the times domesticated animals, along with all her worldly possessions. A religious, supposed to the endless bounties of heaven, but Penny Penrose
1,250,000 subscribers. I ran into him. I think he had 50.
Does that not sort of compromise the public's access? Does that not sort of compromise the public's access to the courts? Access? Alongside the Russellville School District. Let's get more comfortable. Oh, Jesus, that's not comfortable at all. Be the fuck.
What do you figure, Leslie? Let's see what we got next. Well, you're busy eating all that good chow, right? So, sounds good. Yeah, it's funny. I didn't see Dabu do a thing on lettuce. I usually look for him to do, the headlines. All right. The man running the best stadium food operation in sports. What do you say we give this fella a chance? If you're bored, put a 2 in chat and we'll go somewhere else. Cooling down nicely outside, but inside staying pretty toasty. We gotta get this cooled down. It says 78 in here. But doing pretty good outside. 73.
I've never seen so many dinosaurs actually together, no?
This is the largest herd of sauropods in the world.
You're not just visiting one place, you're moving through an entire cultural landscape.
Pretty amazing out there.
Abu Dhabi, man, they're having a tough time getting people over there now.
With the New York Mets.
I don't know if you heard. But Iran, Yemen have been blowing up U.S. bases there. There's quite a few Americans dead. And then I guess they're not talking about it. Yankee Stadium.
We still do the things that keep the lights on, the hot dogs, the chicken tenders, the burgers. Here, you can get cool and unique items, such as the pastrami nacho or a crazy fun egg roll. Our pastry chef is Michelin starred. We're doing a kimchi Reuben. We've got Korean
that's about
$70.
Can guarantee you that.
For everyone.
That's about $65.
Sit-down restaurants on property. We're up to 5 VIP club areas. As senior executive chef, I oversee everything. I happen to believe we have the best program in all of sports and entertainment. Good morning. Welcome to Citi Field. It's 11 a.m. We're just waking up the beast. We've got a lot to do. Let's come on in. So here we are in the Jackie Robinson Rotunda in a couple of hours. This is where about 40,000 fans will pile in to the stadium. As of right now, we've got a little VIP lunch to take care of. So welcome to the Delta Sky 360 Club. This is for our premier guests. So anyone that you would see seated behind home plate has access to this club. So today's lunch is for the Mets front office staff. They'll reach out to us, and then we'll curate different menus based off of what they want. Do they want a working lunch? Do they want something that's maybe handheld? Are they going to sit down? It's easier to sit at a high top like this, but a lot easier to use a fork and knife when you're sitting at a table and you're relaxing and you're doing that. So based on the different parts of the ballpark and then what we have available is kind of how we'll curate the menu. Here during a game, we'll have anywhere from 400 to 600 fans in here. They take part in ballpark station, everything you love at a ballpark. Back here, they're setting out all of the desserts. Here they can choose their ice cream. We get these cool branded ice cream, so can't go wrong here. They get their little Let's Go Mets chocolate or vanilla, and then they can kind of top it with any of the toppings, M&Ms, Oreos, marshmallows, whipped cream, cherries. So here is our sushi station. We have a team of sushi chefs on property every game. They'll be rolling here later on for the fans. They actually also roll in our concession stands, and they'll also roll in your suite. This is our ballpark station. Later on, we'll have popcorn, we'll have pretzels, we'll have a chafing dish here for our sliders. Today for the lunch, we've transitioned into some unique offerings. Paul, who curated this whole menu, actually just dropped off our caprese burger. It's got a lot of the flavors that you would get in like a meatball. And then here are our nachos. So pita chips, pastrami, caramelized onion in there, caramelized sauerkraut, dill pickles, a little bit of a Thousand Island drizzle, and then the Swiss cheese fondue. And this is a bit of an insight into what we do, where we take flavor profiles and then serve them in completely unique and different ways. All right, so lunch is looking good. Everything's checked down. It looks like we're ready to go. Some of the guests are starting to arrive, so now we'll go on to our next meeting of the day. So when we talk about unique and different things, you know, a lot of people say, what do you guys do when there's no baseball? In about 3 hours, this place will be buzzing with 40,000 fans. But for right now, we've got people spraying the seats down, cleaning the stadium, and we've got some of the military guys out there enjoying softball and going from there. Let's head up and we'll go to our pre-shift and make sure everything is good for the game. So on our way to the meeting, we'll check out a couple of the kitchens. Here we have our visiting team clubhouse. So right now we have the St. Louis Cardinals in-house. Not a lot of people realize that here in this stadium, we also cater to the visiting clubhouse. And we help out a little bit with the Mets clubhouse as well, with different that they might want throughout the ballpark. But we'll continue on down the hall. You're going to see a lot of pallets lined up for deliveries to go up to the concession stands. You're going to see, bags of popcorn that we just popped downstairs. A lot of employees coming in. On property, we have close to 150 different kitchens. Some of them are large, some of them are small. It's all serviced by this one kitchen right behind me. It's what we call our commissary kitchen. In here, we have our bakery. So we have everything set up for today's game. All here on these speed racks to go upstairs. Everything that you would see over here on the board is for the homestand. So all of our different drops, all of our different attendances with all of our different clubs, these guys supply all of the sweet treats for the entire ballpark out of this set of tables right here. They're cracking away and no one's running around, which is a good sign. So it means we're on track and we're doing good. So this is Julie. She's our executive pastry chef here.
The pastry team consists of 16 people, but as you can see, everyone has a different project to do. So we're all working simultaneously, starting from 5 a.m. is the earliest crew, and my latest crew comes in at 2 p.m. So it's really a full day to make sure it's all done. So each day there's different desserts in all of the different clubs because we are pastry people and we're creative and we like to constantly be doing new things.
So unique aspect of this kitchen is we have all of the firepower to do savory. This is where we're making things in 100-pound batches. We're bringing things in by the pallet. Here they're heating up cheese sauce to make mac and cheese. But down the line, they're doing a New York staple. We do ketchup braised onions here. It's one of those hot dog type items that you gotta
onions.
have.
No
we
thanks.
Fire all of our pastrami from the ovens down here. We do all of our smoking in the big smoker back there over in the corner. 4 o'clock, it's nothing but nonstop food moving out of this kitchen and up into the ballpark.
2, please. Make that 3. Redeem Capital One Saver Card. You earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining.
Making me hungry. I just ate. But I get tired of the same thing. 3rd, 4th day. It was good. I can't complain. Had something to eat.
We're here on the 4th floor, our suites level, a left field, 3rd base, at the Empire Club. This is where we keep our ballpark items. So we'll have hot dogs, we'll have our sauerkraut, our ketchup braised onion, our chicken tenders, got our popcorn machine, there's Cracker Jacks and peanuts all throughout the club.
Cracker Jacks in a bag.
What I think is one of the best seats in the house. These ticket holders get something a little bit different. We'll
wonder why they had to go to bags cheaper.
Hawking is when we're going to deliver the food right to your seat. All of those guys you see, peanuts, popcorn, Cracker Jacks, hot dogs, screaming in the stadium. It's something different every game. The fan doesn't know that it's coming. Could be anything from Shake Shack to those egg rolls that everyone hears about. So it's kind of that fun little, pop-up, if you will. within the club. All right, so it looks like some of the chefs are arriving. I have 9 chef de cuisines throughout the building, stationed in different areas. We're going to go over our plan for the day and the rest of the homestand. All right, guys, you know the deal. Julie, what do you got going on?
Tomorrow we have 1,000 people in Bullpen, as well as testing out the cupcakes and cookies for the concert coming up.
Drew?
We got to get the meats ready tonight for tomorrow morning for the 1,000 people that Julie was just talking about. It's just hot dogs and pretzels. So this way it takes some of the pressure off of us in the morning so we can get the clubs out. That's pretty much it.
On top of it being the quick turnaround tomorrow, we'll also have a heat wave, right? So make sure these guys are hydrating early today, right? Because if they don't, then it's too late.
The humidity is going to be crazy. That means the bread. So, Lou, make sure your guys are keeping an eye on the bread. Let's have a good game, and it's going to be busy. So that's all I got.
Let's go, Knicks.
We got a little bit of downtime now, and then we'll be back at it for the safety meeting. Now we're going to check out our Cadillac Club. All right, so earlier I talked about there being a different vibe in different parts of the club. This is our Cadillac Club. So it has a little bit of that speakeasy, kind of cigar lounge type of feel. This isn't generally the way to get in, but it's kind of a cool little back scene tour. Most fans are entering from the outside. They have direct access through this door to come right in. So fans will come in, they'll come through the door, they'll enjoy a cocktail, and of course, say the magic words, "Let's go Mets." We'll hit the button, the door opens, and then we have access into the ball game. So we'll go up and we'll check out the rest of the club. Welcome to the Cadillac Club. You're literally right on right field. So a guest can take their seat here. The cup holders actually ice over to keep your beverages cold down here. I can't tell you how many times a baseball has flown in here. There is a little gap in the top of the ceiling out there. So as a baseball hits the netting, it kind of rolls down and drops right on your lap. When it comes to the food, you know, a lot of different handheld foods. There's always a salad. We have hot dogs down here.
Oh, that was roasted.
Featured items.
If you never had it, try that.
We
right
have hot
there.
dogs down here.
Come
a
on,
lot of
man.
different
What you
handheld
doing to
foods.
me here?
There's always a
Right
salad.
there.
We have hot dogs.
Roasted. Jesus Christ. Come on, man. What are you doing?
To the food.
Roasted romaine hots.
You know, a lot of different handheld foods. There's always.
Right there. They're delicious. They don't look too delicious to me, but you put olive oil on them. And then you put some, put them on the grill. A little garlic. Ooh, they're good.
A salad.
Some chicken.
We have hot dogs down here. There's going to be 3 featured items as well. Not so much a carving station.
Wow, that was
This is almost
Brussels
like
sprouts.
that cocktail cool vibe. All of our clubs are outfitted with induction. So everything we have here, what we call in the chef world as bottom heat, top heat, depending on what food we have is what heat we're going to use. We want to leave it open
Roasted
to both.
radishes. They were really good.
That we do about once a month. We're going to pop up there. We're going to address the staff. So let's take a trip upstairs. All right, so we're on our way to the safety meeting, but real quick, a cool little spot that no one ever sees about is the bullpen access here at the stadium. So here's where our pitchers would warm up and hopefully come in to save the game. So we're going to head this way to the safety meeting. I want to thank you guys for coming to this month's safety meeting. It's going to start to be hot, even hotter. So I want to make sure that you guys are all staying hydrated. The humidity over the next couple of days is going to be high. High humidity means that things that we produce are going to go moldy a lot faster. So we all know the bread, the fruits, all of that are out. Please, let's make sure we're keeping an eye on those. We're looking at everything we're serving before we open the gates. All right, so safety meeting's over. We're going to start checking the ballpark and get the game started.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that opens up a world of possibilities. With Venture X, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. And get access to over 4,000 airport lounges worldwide. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
You gonna give me double the miles if I drive and buy gasoline?
mornings came with sore, swollen, and stiff joints.
Right here on the right-hand side, you'll see the locker room. So we're going to go down. We're going to check out the cold push now. We're going to start pushing out cold food into our different luxury suites, and we'll see where they are with their cold food delivery. Gates here at the stadium are 5:40 today. So 5:40 is when we start to do hot push in the stadium in order to get everyone their hot food. Cold push, we would start an hour before that, and that's just to get all of the beverages, all of the fridges stocked, and then all of the cold food into the different areas. So this is Chris. He's one of our suite runners. He's going to pick up suite 225 today, and we're going to deliver it. We have up to roughly around 55 luxury suites on the second floor. So we'll do this for all of our suites. Not only do we do things like crudité and fruit and the normal things that you would find anywhere. He just pulled out the lobster rolls. We're also doing truffle and caviar experiences, champagne. We'll do almost like your tableside guacamole experience in the suite. We'll pull up with a cannoli cart where we'll fill cannolis with all different flavorings and garnishes all within the suite. We'll pop into commissary just to ask, like, all good, everything good. If you remember earlier, we were kind of full of speed racks and everything. Now the speed racks have started to empty out. So right now you hear a lot more of the hustle bustle. This kitchen is a lot busier than what we saw. We're starting to produce all of our small cookies for Walk-Off Cafe for our warm cookie buckets. It looks like they're cutting strawberries at the end of the table for our chocolate-covered strawberries located up on the 5th floor in the candy shop. Once we get this far into production, this is a good roadmap. It's going to let us know where we're going, but the ship is already moving. So a lot of it is, okay, how are we not going to fall behind for tomorrow? How are we going to keep up, keep going, and get stuff prepped out for the next day? These guys have a pretty good 81 game plan where they've got the entire season laid out. A lot of our clubs go off of a 21 to 28 game rotation. So a club member's only going to see the same menu 3, maybe 4 times in the seasons. It's kind of a machine and it just keeps going. We just got to make sure we keep feeding the machine. We're going to head up to the restaurant and make sure everything up there is going good. This is the steakhouse here at the stadium. So it's our fine dining steakhouse. Third base.
Did you think a baseball stadium would be this high end?
Every day we kind of go over reservations, different VIPs, stuff like that.
I got 43 reservations tonight, 1 large party coming in right at game time, and then a couple special birthday dinners.
Awesome. Should be a pretty chill night here at the Chop House. An area that not many people know about. If you come back here, we'll play the Cardinals tonight. You can actually see the Cardinals down here right now taking batting practice within their locker room. So kind of a very cool, unique way to take in the ballpark experience. Fine dining steakhouse, overseeing the guys downstairs. They obviously can see us up here. It's why they're all looking at us. Kind of cool when you start walking past the TVs now. You can see the fans start to line up. You can start to judge how busy we're going to be, how hard gates are going to be. On this side of this club, we like to keep it a little bit more concession-based. Although it does look like just another concession stand, this is actually all of our premium areas within the entire ballpark located in one spot so that those guests can get up here, get some air conditioning, maybe get a really nice dessert, get something really nice that could be located out in center field and get back to their seat in a relatively quick amount of time. They're starting to put food up now. We have our chopped cheese here. We also have our pastrami sandwich. We have the fried pickles. We have the shaved pork sandwich. We have the La Freda steak sandwich. All of these different offerings all located at one area when generally one stand would just offer one of these. So here we kind of roll it all up into one. We'll come around here. We'll pop over and we'll check out the desserts. Can't go wrong with our Mets themed stuff. So Mets cupcakes, rainbow cookies, a huge thing in New York. We make our own marshmallows. So chocolate covered marshmallows, jumbo cannolis, Oreo dipped cheesecake, carrot cake, our Mr. Met whoopie pie, more Mets donuts. Everyone knows. We hit a home run, the apple comes up in center field. It's kind of that cool, iconic thing. We took the apple, or the idea of the apple, and then melded it with a candy apple, And now we have the home run candy apple. Definitely something unique, something iconic to the ballpark. All right, so we've checked out the Clover level. Looks like everything's here. Gates are starting to open. Fans are starting to rise.
Well, I hope you appreciate that. Come on in. Say hello to your friends and family.
Let's go Mets.
Whatever. Good evening. Happy, joy. That was Bon Appetit. They do some pretty good stuff. I never thought going to a ballpark would be anything like that, though. Some of them pastry places remind me of old days back in when I was a kid, and the Italian bakeries, boy. Yeah. Pastries. Go get 2 loaves of bread there, Ralph. Go in there. Just like she was always good to me there, Mom. I think they're still in business too, from what I heard. Where are we going now? What do we got? Another Bon Appetit, classic French fish dish. And Gigi's in California, and she brought her dough starter. Let's see if we get anything out of that. Oh, you can get personal information now out of a junkyard. You just go in there and take the data box. Ain't that something? We'll do one more. Iraq is getting pretty pissed off. Supposedly they hit some of our troops. Oh, yeah. Could have the bloodshed. What's he doing? We found fortune and gold. All right, this is Jason. He's got the gold mine. We watched some of his stuff before. Yeah, here we go. Season 2, part 2. I don't know what the fuck it is, dude. You know?
We found a pocket of gold while advancing our drift to the Rays. We found some amazing gold and quartz samples, and so today we're going to start off right where we left off last video, mucking out our last round, getting ready to drill and blast the vein, and advance to the Rays.
We're starting to fill up our muck wall pretty good to where it's really quite difficult to get buckets under there now. And so we've reverted our track over to this section of the room. And now we can start backfilling back over here and just work our way out of this room. And as we work our way this way, we'll just build the wall up from the other side. And then I can dump the waste buckets over the edge and backfill against the wall. We've hand mucked all that waste out of here. Now Harry's doing his favorite job, washing the face down. We've got it pretty much raked out. Nice smooth floor.
So that quartz vein is what they're chasing. The rest is all waste rock.
Yeah, you want to see some gold?
That's when they say waste rock piles when we go to these videos.
It's kind of interesting.
Idaho,
the right rib,
Nevada,
which is east, and
the huge pile of waste rock. That's everything other than this.
There's not a whole lot in there. There is still some pay though. There's a piece of gold right there, and it's hanging out right below this slip. So right below the hanging wall is where the pay is. But not, like I said, not much sulfides. This is our face of our heading. And once we got over here, something happened with the vein intrusion, and it's just laced with sulfides. Some of it's just almost pure sulfides. All this is just pure pyrrhotite. And the gold line over here is a little bit lower. It's in my hand. It's right along here. Here's the slip apparently that has the gold, and it comes right around here. I'll show you some of the really nice tellurides we have. Right up in here is all that silver telluride the gold hangs out with. There's a really nice crystal. Coming across right here, we're starting to see a spot with some really nice gold in it. This is that telluride. And then over here, you're starting to get more telluride and some really nice gold. Let me show you some gold here. So there's some gold right down in here, right along there. Some pieces kind of back in that hole that are hanging out like, Harry used the term shark fin the other day. I like that. Yeah, like a shark fin. Bunch of gold there. There's some gold here. There's some gold down here. And so that band, wherever you have that band of tellurides, you get the gold. But what happens, that band of tellurides comes across, and then it comes up right onto the hanging wall again. So these sulfides apparently came after the tellurides, and over here towards the fault on the east rib, there's no more sulfides. So a good example of multiple intrusions of fluid. It's a little bit hard to explain the unique environment it is working underground. It's dark, you get a little spotlight for your headlamp, but it's a little bit, it's hard to get your bearings sometimes. It's really hard to tell direction. It's cold, it's wet in our mind, and it's just a whole lot of work, whether you're mucking, whether you're drilling, whether you're setting up to drill, whether you're blasting. Everything is heavy, everything is work, and in our mind, we're doing everything by hand. We are continuing drilling towards our raise. At this point, we have gone about 10 feet, and we need to go a total of about 40. Well, now it's Harry's turn with mine operator. He's going to hop on the drill here. We are using button bits. So these are carbide button bits. They go on the end of the steel. And here you can see we have our hole collared. The water is knocking the dust down, keeping the rock chips and the dust down. Steel rotates and hammers. So every quarter or eighth of a rotation, the drill steel hammers the bottom of the hole so it will hit, turn an eighth of a turn, hit again, and we just keep pounding away, drilling our holes. We're doing 4-foot holes. You can see here we're working on our burn. So the 0 hole has the white PVC pipe in it, which helps us line up the future drill holes. Once you have one hole in place, you want all the other holes to run parallel to that all the way back. And the goal is that the bottom of the hole has the same orientation as the hole at the face. This is a Gardner Denver FL83 drill. You can see Harry's left hand on the throttle, his right hand is on the corn cob, which controls the leg pressure. And here is a good view of this leg running. You give it enough air to lift the drill and push the drill steel into the bottom of the hole. But if you give it too much pressure, the drill steel can bind in the hole and cause you problems. So it's a real delicate balance between enough pressure to get the drill hammered in the bottom of the hole, and not too much to where you're binding it. The burn cut, you want your holes spaced a couple, 2, 3, 4 inches apart, because that's where the whole explosion starts, and you want to open that up. As you go farther away from the burn cut, you can space your holes out because you've opened up a large enough area where you can shoot more rock into it. If you you have a bigger space for it to go to. The burn is done, and now we're starting to drill out onto our face farther away from the burn. So we're going to do 2 or 3 holes in a vertical pattern, and we'll start slabbing those in when we start blasting. Harry's got our face all cleaned out, blowing out all the holes. He's got the hose for the prill pot all staged and ready. We keep our Ampho prill in sealed containers to try and keep it dry. Okay, Harry's doing his 3 honks in the horn. He'll hit me on the radio here when he gets the warning blast out, and then I will shoot this thing. All right, I got the all clear from Harry. Blast this thing. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. Oh, nice shot. All right, it's the next day. Harry's going to kick on the vent fan. This yellow fan bag blows clean air all the way down to the face. So we're going to let that vent for 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
Harry and I are excited to see we did not use stemming this time. We were didn't have any ready.
Yeah, I failed to make those the night before.
And our holes were a little wet, so we just decided to shoot it. So we're going to see what our round looks like without being stemmed. There's a pretty good one right above the face there that's going to come down. And this is why you scale, because what you really want to do is run in there and poke your head in that hole, but you don't want to get hit by that. Let's see what we got here. So, it doesn't look like it broke very good, but look at some of this metal. Wow. Sulfides, pure sulfides, all the way through. So yeah, we've got a mess here is what we got. It didn't break all the way to the back. Didn't break to the slip I wanted it to. That one. All right. I'm a fan of stemming.
Yeah, me too.
You converted me. Got to stem it. All right. Well, we'll get it washed down. Scale down what we can of the vein in there, and kind of assess what we got. Honestly, I'm kind of disappointed. I thought it would have performed a little better than that, but it didn't. And now we got a little bit of a mess. And, you know, we took all the time yesterday to drill it out, diesel with the compressor and cost of explosives. And we were in a rush right at the very end and didn't do our stemming, and it bit us. So we're going to get cleaned up as best we can, assess what we have, and then we'll have to make a plan on how to keep going forward. But I guess that's how you learn stuff. You know, we took a chance and it didn't work out. I am sold on stemming, 100%. We're going to use stemming every time from now on. And, you know, Harry's the one that's insisting on it. And, he's got a system that really works well, so we're going to use it. And hopefully the next round is going to break right back to the face. The silver lining to this whole thing is we got some pretty nice ore, though. Look at that Mount Baker lightning quartz. All right, well, Harry's getting all excited about something back here. What do you got, Harry?
I love sulfides.
Oh, yeah.
But we're getting solid pyrrhotite, just giant chunks of it.
Yeah, Mount Baker lightning quartz. So we're separating that out in a bag.
We'll slab that
up. And then look here, you can see it in the vein. It's just all sulfides, just all pyrrhotite. It wraps around under there. You got a good piece?
I'm trying to muck, and then I see this, and then there's just
whoa,
little piece of gold there. And then there's this little picker sticking out of the rock right there.
Oh, nice. Here, get your light. Let's see. Yeah, the light on it really screws.
Yeah, my headlights might help
with the. Yeah, that right there is a nice little piece. Come on, focus. And then there's some. And there's a bunch right there.
Consumer Cellular cut so many bills that we brought in one of our recent savers to help us cut. Hey, Dave, what did we say you'd save when you switched 2 unlimited lines from Big Wireless?
Up to $600.
Good evening, Laura. How are you?
Whoa, that is a really good piece. Yeah.
We're underground. They just shot some dynamite to break all this rock up. And they're looking at the gold content. How are you? How was your day?
Oh, that's coming across really good too. That is a huge piece of gold for this mine. Let's get this washed off. Oh man, there's another good piece in there too somewhere here. You see it? Oh yeah, you got it in your hand. Okay, hold on. Let's wash this off.
That plate, don't let it get away.
I know. I hope it's still attached.
I don't think it is. Oh yeah, this is
oh no, it's loose. You're right, it's loose.
Yeah. You got foil gold.
I got loose gold.
Yep, this has got gold in it. It's tiny.
Oh man. What do I do with this thing? Let's do this. Let's wash all our specimens in this bucket, and then we'll get all.
We've just been hanging out, watching a couple of videos. Been kind of quiet.
So that's gonna go away.
Usually is.
My gold.
Summertime.
Yeah.
We get a few people in the winter.
It's kind of heartbreaking, actually. All right, I have in my hand, I think, one of the best pieces we've pulled this year.
We're not going to get anything done today.
There. And then
look at that.
There.
I don't know if you can see that. Pretty good.
There we go. Yeah. Gold sticking there.
What was the Portuguese meal?
Gold down here. Production is at a crawl here.
They got some good food.
Even when I'm filming him, tell him he's going slow. Come on, give it back. All right, he puts it in a bag. Like that. Put it in a bag. Light bag. And then he hands me the bag. I put it on the scale. So that one's
pork with what?
20.5 pounds. So what
I think they got one that's almost like pulled pork.
Put it in the bag.
So you got to pick all this shit and put it in a bag and carry it out.
That's a nice piece.
I'm not familiar with it.
Just coming right out of the pocket.
That's a good bag. Yeah. So I put 4, 5, 6 pieces of lightning quartz in the bag. We're up at 28.5 pounds or so. And then I put a zip tie on it. And then it goes in the cart.
Paprika, a lot of paprika.
And I've never seen this before in this vein, but it has little bugs. And if you look real close, right down in that bug, I think that's a piece of gold. Which again is
I haven't bought Tupac tenderloin. They're all being packed by Swiss Premium now.
Just really, really solid.
Kind of try to stay away from them.
And I've read about this all my life about the bugs having gold in them, and there's a piece right there, right in that bug. Little quartz crystals. See the little quartz crystals growing out of there, and then hiding right down there. Boom. That is a cool little piece of gold.
Well, I'm sure it was good.
All right, mission accomplished. We got it mucked down pretty much to the waist. We didn't want to go too far and start taking a bunch of waste.
You getting any chemtrails down
We're
there?
try and do something with these pillars over here. I don't know.
Last 4 or 5 hours, man, the chemtrails have really increased here. A lot of lines in the sky.
I'm gonna try it first and see how that goes. What do you got?
Straight sulfide, solid pure type.
That is a nice piece. So we got a whole bag of stuff like that, huh? Yeah. Maybe not that good, but we'll take that stuff down and slab it too, huh?
Oh, so much work
on this corner here.
in the mine.
we were talking earlier about maybe coming in and putting a half a stick in each one of these holes and trying to pop it all off, but there's a really nice band of that Telluride gold stuff right there. And so if we can feed it off with a hammer, there's going to be some really nice samples in there.
Marinated
it could just go all over the place.
coriander, cumin, curry powder, lime juice, soy, pink sugar, syrup, and olive oil marinated overnight. Wow.
Telluride's right there.
No paprika.
A little blade of gold. See, it's kind of, you can see the edge.
It sounds good. Leslie's got a treat tonight.
You can see the face. A little blade.
She might be eating.
Right there on top of that Telluride.
Getting close to 6 o'clock her time.
Oh, I got that gold blade off of there.
You remind me that if I'm here this winter, maybe try that on the stove. Slow cook.
That line is just where the money is.
On the coal stove.
Little band. Well, we made the decision to just pop
Boil
these
it.
things. Brought up some stick powder. We're just going to do like a quarter to a half a stick
Really?
in each one of these holes. And there's,
I
maybe
never heard of
100
that, so you
pounds
don't
here,
even
but
roast
man,
it.
There's really, really good gold right here that we want to try and recover.
Interesting.
Hopefully there's going to be some nice specimens there.
There's your modern day dynamite, by the way. If you ever had interest in knowing what dynamite looks like.
And then this one. Okay, that one's nice. Got my keys covered in explosives. The airport doesn't like that.
They don't use red no more.
Third cap.
Nice.
Right in the middle is where all the gold is. Uh-oh.
That's all I needed to get that big stump out of here. 2 of them.
Yeah, we'll get
But no.
Harry's packing and stemming in there. A little one in there. And that's to try and hold the gases in the hole so they.
We just watched one. I might leave this one up. If you want to rewind it, Bon Appetit. On cooking at Met Stadium.
Yeah, what happened? We just broke.
Boy, it was pretty impressive.
Collar here that didn't break in the front. So we're just trying to pop that off. Okay, so I want all 3 of these to go at the same time, but that's really hard to do with the zero because you got to point the zero at the shock tubes. So I'm going to waste a cap and use the clipped end of the cap to detonate all 3 of these at the same time. And I can hook my zero
Really?
to this one, and this is just going to blast off and not do anything. It'll just set the timing for these 3. Okay, Harry's giving me the all clear. You should hear 3 quick boom, 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 and then 7 seconds later, a boom, boom.
Well, it does sound good.
Here we go. There's 3. Man, those are big booms. For half a stick, that's a big boom. So it's the next morning. We've got our airbag on. We're venting out the gases. There's really not very much. Do you smell any, Harry? I don't smell anything. No. And then we'll scale our way back in. And
Get a big headache, but it smells good.
how do we do here? Oh, yeah, we cleaned it right up.
He's scaling, looking for any loose rocks.
Yeah.
If you're interested.
We just started washing down. Good sulfide stuff.
You are.
Lots of metal.
Good
So we're
for
just going
you.
to work our way through this kind of hand picking. And then
We
everything
get a
else
long
gets mucked
night
in the bags.
every night.
But it cleaned it right off of there. Just like it was supposed to.
I try to make my days
Well, we
as
found
short
a
as
pile
possible.
here. We
Get
found
through
a
'em.
couple little pieces.
I mean,
really
as
know about.
as
I think
long
we
in
just
the
kinda
night.
obliterated most of the specimens. I ripped
That's
all that
okay.
stuff
I'm
off
glad
all
you
three at the
stopped
same
in.
time. So we're just gonna get this
I'll
mucked
leave this
into
video
double
up
bags.
if you want to rewind it and watch it. It was pretty good. They had some really top-notch
So we're getting ready to
meals
fill up
there
that
at the ballpark.
second round of waste. And it's time for a bit change. We've lost 2 of our little buttons. The rest of the buttons are getting pretty small. So we're gonna knock that off of there and put a new bit on.
Yeah.
These bits are just compression held on the end of the steel. So you take your bit knocker here, slide it down the steel,
Bit
and then
knocker.
whack it hard with a double jack, pop that thing off of there. Whack
Really?
it in hard. Now the bit comes off of there.
It comes right off. I'll be damned.
Little brass sleeve in there, but that is garbage now. Now we got a brand new bit on there.
Yeah, I mean, we got other time. If you want to watch it, just rewind it till the ballpark. Or go watch it at bonappetit.com.
This thing here is our oiler. So we run this right behind the drill. And we put drill oil in there.
You have a good night.
We're about half, so I'll fill it back up. And that helps keep the drill lubricated.
Oh, you always do.
Get a valve on there so you can turn the air off at the drill. It's real nice.
Thank you.
And we've got these whip checks.
I guess someone else did too.
This connection
Thank
comes
you.
off.
We had like 6
flailing
people in
around,
here, I think, at one
somebody in the
time.
head.
Nobody was saying nothing. Leslie's
marked out our
eating,
holes.
I think.
Kind of where I could there with the paint. So I got 2 rows.
Leslie,
4
take
on the
a
bottom.
second. Say hi.
I've got 2 rows, 1 of 3 and 1 of 2 at the top. So 13 holes total. We're going to use the big hole here as our bird. And I'll probably take these first, then that row and that row, and then the
Now they
lift
got to
last
drill
row.
it though. They got to drill all them holes. You wouldn't believe how loud this is. I could only imagine. This is what your gold miners did for 100 years. Before that, they swung a sledgehammer on a drill. One guy would hold a sledgehammer. Good luck.
I've got them all blown out. We'll go get some explosives. Get it loaded. All right, we're all loaded. Ready to shoot. Harry's done his horn honks. Here we go.
I guess Leslie must be real busy. That's all right. It's her
We have
dinner
run
time.
into a problem with our drift, and we got to figure out what's going on. Even with the problems we face, we're still finding gold. We're still having a lot of fun, and we're still making big boons.
Well, we broke back to that base. Really nice. That's that slip that was making all that water. It's just smooth as can be. There's a little bit right there where there's water coming out. See it trickling out of that. So it was causing us all our problems with our wet holes. The vein's really pinched down. It's down about a foot or maybe less over here.
Well,
It's
you
doing
have
something
sweet
real
dreams.
weird in here as we get close to the slip.
Thanks
As we
for
get close to the
stopping
fault,
by.
It's kind of coming up here and then it peters out and dives down. This slip may be have a little bit of movement to it. Don't know if it was before or after emplacement, but I think it's interesting that it's pinching right as you get to this little slip, and afterwards you might have something else going on. We're going to continue
Beehive
our way
video.
forward here towards
Did
the
you get
race,
my email
but
on that?
We are making an agonizing decision here. The vein continues through it. The vein
Not worth watching.
is right about here.
Fat
Kinda see the quartz
beekeeper.
through the mud. But the vein is very
That guy's brilliant.
small right here. It's about
And
16,
I
18
think you
inches
misunderstood me.
It's pinching this way.
15
The
years
fault is
ago,
over here somewhere.
my ham radio buddy encouraged me to build a beehive. And I'm really not good at lumber cutting and all that. And I had lumber here. I made me a top bar beehive.
And take it all as waste. And then
I
we'll
did
see what's going
everything.
on the other side of this
Sugar
little slip here.
water,
It's really tough.
spearmint,
That's good ore there,
oil,
but it would just take too long.
and I never
There's
could
just
get
not enough
bees
of
to
it
go
there
in
make
that
it worth our
hive.
while. So there's our 0.
And it's just about all falling apart now.
2, 3,
There's a beekeeper up the
4.
road
And then we're gonna
at a
box that in.
house that don't sell honey. But I always say, oh, you know, one day stop there and tell the guy to come and pick it up if he can use it. Came out really good according to my buddy. I sent him video on it.
We can kind of space them out now because we have a big old hole here. 2, 3, 4.
Well, you know, there's an apple farm near me. And I used to go in there and buy apples. And they were good. And I noticed he had honey for sale. I says, you keep bees? He says, yeah, I do. That's our honey. I says, you think I had this beehive here for 5-7 years? I don't remember what I told him. It was a long time anyway. And I can't attract bees. I says, could I bring that beehive up here and set it up? And when your colonies push out the other colonies, maybe I can get it filled up and take it back in the fall. All he said to me was, bees are expensive. Well, that ain't what I'm talking about, dude. We didn't even discuss in price. We're talking about the physical mechanics. And this is the trouble I have here. Yeah. So he didn't give me a price on what he wanted, $100 or $200 if it was packed with a queen, you know. It's just fucking very disappointing. You know, if you wouldn't have got your ham radio license, I'd do whatever I could for you to get your equipment or get your knowledge or help you out, you know. Anyway, if it was that full, I probably wouldn't even to ask them to take it back, to be honest with you. But whatever. That makes it very difficult for me, anyway. It's the way I do my thinking.
I just got done loading and hooking up the round. And here's
Look at that. That's what a blast looks like in the rocks.
Number 1,
in a
2,
gold mine.
3, 4.
You too.
Those blue clips, you clip them up in order you want them to go. And then I start opening up the middle with my square, and then my diamond, and then my larger square, and then I start taking the top and the bottoms in. So
It's a skill, man.
Hooked up, except for the very last
Blasting.
the last 2 corner lifters. They'll be out here as little tattletales. So if we find those and those went, it means the whole round went. So Harry's loading the stemming in the holes, and that keeps the gases in, gives us a much better breakage than without stemming. Well, it's our first night blast. Dark out there. Been working all day for this. Here we go. Oh, that was a big one. That was a good blast. Whew, felt that one in my chest and my feet. All right, it's the next morning. We're going to vent out our workings a little bit here, get all the gases out. Here's our little vent fan and our airbag. Got the compressor going, so I turn this on, and that vent bag.
Oh, no way. It's air driven. Wow. Listen to that motor climb. Air operated motor. Bam.
We scaled our way back to the kind of collar of our drift here. Harry's getting her washed down. Big pile of muck. It's all pretty much staying contained inside the drift now. There's just a little bit out here. We'll get cleaned up. And then
Sometimes they used to put a sheet of steel down so they could shovel all the muck out easier.
Okay. I like that metal track. Yeah, me too. We got to pull some of that up from down below. Yeah. How are we looking back there? Looking pretty good. It looks flat. it looks like it broke to the back. There's a few holes I see over on the right rib over here, but it looks pretty good. I'm really
holes. I went a little too far, maybe like 3 or 4 inches too far on some of those.
okay.
Damn,
I'm
3-4
definitely glad
inches.
we're past that slip. It looks fairly dry
I
back
didn't think
there
it's
now. That
that
slip was giving us all sorts of water problems.
precise.
So I'm glad we're through that. Looks like the vein is there on the face. So we'll give you an update here in a couple minutes once we're scaled back and everything's safe. Our vein here is about a foot wide, maybe a little less. It's widening out on the right rib here. Here's our slit that's been giving us problems. And that goes all the way up and around, all the way across the back.
Yeah, funny how
here
Earth,
to the other side of the
when
vein,
it was all molten,
or the other side of the drift,
made
I
all
guess.
these different
It does not
stuff
look
in
like
it.
there's been any movement post,
You check on the lady.
but it
Getting
does
dark here.
look
I guess
like
Leslie, you were eating.
this slit was here during emplacement. We had a real nice defined vein coming in here, and then as soon as you get within 2 or 3 feet of the slip, it starts going all kind of wonky here. It crosses the slip, the vein stays intact, but it pinches quite a bit. It also looks like there might be a little bit of quartz kind of up around the slip, but not much. And it's quite interesting. I did a structural geology problem on a very similar to this, where we had to calculate a fault or a slip and a vein emplacement. And would the vein cut through the fault, or would it go up the fault? And depending on the pressures and the stresses on the rock, the vein will cut right through the slip, just like it did here. I mean, this is a textbook example of if this slip was here before the vein was in place, the pressures were just right, the vein will cut right across that slip. So it's kind of cool to calculate it 20 years ago in class and then see it happen in real life. But we have muck upon muck upon muck here to get cleaned up today. Probably 2 days. This is a 2-day project, don't you think?
I'm not going to answer that right now.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to think about it. So we'll get started on mucking here. It's going to be, this is the definition of a marathon. It's going to take us more than a day to get this cleaned up. You're going to see it happen in about 2 minutes, but it's going to take us all day, doing it by hand, by buckets, 3 buckets at a time, pushing it down the rail in the cart. And you just can't get too excited. You'll burn yourself out. So you just got to go slow and steady and pick your way through it. We're going to improve our track here a little bit. We've got the pieces like right there. They're just kind of sitting there. The cart's getting hung up on them. So we're going to try and do about 15, 20 minutes worth of work on our track and get it a little more solid.
There's Jason beating the track into submission again.
Track repair.
Yep, track repair.
This is as jippo as you get here.
Yeah.
Just cheap, fast, tie our tracks together. But now we've got good track tied together at the corner, straight shot to the muck pile. Put another sleeper down there, and then we can just keep extending our track out. It's going to be great. Right here, it's going to be great. Okay, test her out. Nice. That's fun.
Downhill slope. This right here.
Ready to go. And this is what it looks like. I push the cart back here and start building Muck Mountain. We get the muck as high as we can with the buckets, and then the last couple feet to the back, we throw the bigger rocks up there to just plug the whole thing off. Tool station, and then there's our rail going back towards working. We probably got almost 50 feet of rail now. But if you guys are as crazy as we are, I think this looks like fun. You want to come help out, send me an email. I'll put an email address right down here at the bottom. And email me. We got to get you some training and stuff. But if you want to come work for the season, shoot me an email and we'll see if you're cut out to
Oh, you big handsome
with
puppy.
Jason and Harry. Well, Harry, it's lunchtime.
Yeah, you got some
Going 2
gibbles
hours
deep.
and 15
You
minutes.
eat nice and
Started
slow.
at 9:45
Good girl.
this morning.
Make sure you clean up
And
the
we
ones you
are
drop.
More than halfway. We just finished. It's 4 o'clock now. We had 3 hours this afternoon, 2 hours and 15 minutes this morning. So it's that 5.5 hours, somewhere in there. So we killed it. Here's our face. Our lifters went beautiful. They kicked out underneath even a little bit. We got a little bit of a belly here. Not much, maybe 6-8 inches. And then there's our back all the way up there. We're to the point now where we're a little bit high. I can reach about 8.5 feet. So we went too high on our back. So we'll bring that down a little bit so we won't have to muck as much. Our vein is pitching. The next round will be all waste again. We picked out a little bit of the larger stuff. We'll bag up.
We're going to do another shot. Interesting. This guy's really moving along.
We've got our face all
A lot
loaded
better
again.
than the 1800s,
Gary's
let me
working
tell
on
you.
stemming. I'm going to clean up a little bit of prill we have left out of our prill pot. A couple of caps and stuff. Get that cleaned up. Back down to the magazines. Right after we blow this stuff. Missed. I'm tired. I'm tired too. This has been a long day. But we're going to make a big boom and it's all going to be worth it. Yeah, this is an ugly face. I don't want to see this ugly face again. Yeah. Yeah, I wanted just a nice, flat, beautiful looking face. There's something going on back there when we were drilling. Kept getting these like soft spots and the drill would just lurch forward. Smelled like sulfur. Get past it. All kinds of weird stuff can happen when you get close to that fault. This will be a good round. We got a lot of caps in here. 35, I think. 34, 35 holes, something like that. Space them a little bit closer together. Hopefully that'll help the face pull.
Well, this is going to be a big one.
Back of these holes. I was really careful to get the burn pretty close in the box and the diamond. But we're all stemmed. All stemmed? It's on you now. All right, I'll hook them up. I don't think you can see me at all, but we're doing another night blast. I just gotta get my battery here.
Places like Goldfield, that shit went around the clock.
Here. Okay, here we go.
Wow.
All right, this is the next morning. We're headed in to check on our face. We vetted it all out. I hear Harry in here with the bar. Scaling away. How goes it, Harry? Good. I think the lifters work. got? Don't go past the portal. Okay, you haven't scaled through there yet. Let's take a look. Holy cow. Wow. Now that is a big pile of muck.
Oh, imagine shoveling all that out.
Is that how big we wanted it? Yeah. That's a big pile. Holy cow. From what I can see, the face looks good though. Did we get our wish? From what I can see, it's hard to tell from here, but it looks pretty darn good. Well, there's the kind of collar of our heading. I'm sitting on a mountain of muck, muck mountain number 2. And then here is our face, which looks just absolutely perfect. Square across the back, flat on the face. Right there's a 0 hole. We drilled it out 6 feet so it can kind of give us a direction on where to go for our next round. The vein is doing something weird here. It's coming in this way fairly flat, and then it's just rolling right down, right into this left rib, which is unexpected. I thought, judging by other geology around, it's supposed to roll up. It's supposed to get going up, but it's doing exactly the opposite of what it's supposed to do. As we get closer and closer to that fault, the vein could be doing all sorts of weird stuff. We got to get all of this stuff back over here to where we're mucking everything. And we're just filling this thing up all the way to the back. What you're seeing back there is about 5 feet high, about my eye level. We got some room over our head. We got some room back there. So we're gonna make all that over there. Come over here, 3 buckets at a time. And then we're gonna leave all this over here on the rib, just like we did last time. That rock's what we call the king's chair. That's where Harry sits. So check this out. Yeah, the stemming.
If this had shotgunned out, it would have been in a million pieces, but this held
it and kept all those gases in and did its job. I like stemming. I'm a stemming guy now. Well, how long have we been going? Half an hour, 45 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
Not too bad. A ton every half an hour.
We'll be past or at the hump by lunch.
Oh yeah. Okay, 81 buckets in. 81. Harry's got a pretty darn good whack here. We're not too terribly far from the hump of the pile, but there's a lot of muck between us and the hump. So we've got 2 tons down, out of the way.
What is that, about a ton an hour?
About a ton an hour, yeah. I think last time I checked, it was 10:45 at 40, and now it's 11, so a ton every 45 minutes. Harry and I have also been discussing some of the advantages of working here. What did we come up with, Harry? We got a mandatory weight loss program.
Yeah, we have mining weight loss program.
Yeah.
What else do we have?
We have workout. It's workout all day, every day.
Yeah. The workout of the day is to work nonstop.
Muck nonstop, drill nonstop. What else? We have all you can eat buffet.
Yeah, we have an all you can eat buffet,
but only 3 times a day.
Yeah.
So it's very scheduled.
We go through a pound of ground beef a day. We go through like 6 or 7 eggs.
Oh yeah.
About a stick of butter a day.
Yeah. And we're still losing weight. I've lost 10 pounds since we started, and I don't know if I had 10 pounds to lose. So it's all right. This is the 120 bucket update. 3 tons.
I'm surprised the handles last that long on them buckets. What are you doing, Princess? Oh, you did a good job.
So now I'm the bottleneck. Because when Harry has his big face here, you can just put 3 buckets side by side and get them all full real fast.
Now gravity's working for us.
Yeah. So do you like working when it's a shallower pile or a bigger, deeper pile? I like the tall piles. You like the tall piles? It just rolls right into the bucket. I don't have to do anything. Yeah. And taller is better.
Oh,
Even though it's a
you're
little bit
such a
daunting
good
to sit
one.
there with a huge mountain in front of
You
you, it just
cleaned
rolls right
up.
into your buckets.
Good job, you.
We just passed 200 buckets. 201 so far. I don't know what that is. Is that 6 tons? 3, 4. I don't know what it is. 5 tons? 5 tons. Sure.
You are mine. Yeah, you should be very proud.
We gotta move this stuff. So we got 5 tons behind us.
Oh.
We've got another probably 3, 4, 5 to go. It's just nonstop. Yeah, but I can stand up. The good news is we've been keeping up with our 40-minute a ton pace. So even after lunch, we've got our 40-minute tons down. It's 2 o'clock. We got 2.5 more hours till we got to quit. And so in 150 minutes, we should be able to get almost 4 tons done. So there might be hope we can get this stuff done today. We're through the peak, the hump. We're working our way back down. Harry's getting 3 at a time, so he's running me ragged because he's got that nice face. He just sloughs it all down into a bucket. But let's look here. As soon as we're done with this, I found that soft spot we were hitting with the drill. Yeah. Right here. Oh, Gucci. Yeah. That's where we're hitting with the drill, and I was like, why is it lurching forward? And after this hump, then we just got that little pile back there is all. Those 3 buckets right there are 98, or 298, 299, and 300. He did 240 buckets, hand mucking the pile, and I came back and did the last 60. That's as far as we got. Oh, it has been a long, long day. We're through the main pile. Now I think we've only got about 2.5 feet of muck back about 4 or 5 feet before we get to our face. We're back to mucking. It's the second day. You can tell because my shirt's changed. We have finally finished it. 217 bags or buckets today. 300 yesterday. That's just a lot of muck.
It's all waste rock.
Tons,
throw it over the edge.
Somewhere in there. We got our face kind of washed off here as best we could. Really interesting geology going on here. I don't know quite what to make of it. Here's the right rib. It's about 2.5 foot vein. Nice sulfides. We found our tellurides in this side. There's some gold in here we saw with the loop. It comes around right to our face, which has a slip in it. Here's another slip, runs all the way up around the back, all the way to the other rib. And it parallels this slip that we had 4 feet, 5, 6 feet behind us. So there's 5, 6 feet behind us. That's the one that was making all that water a couple rounds ago. The interesting thing is the vein comes across here, the right rib, nice and wide. It hits that slip and pinches right down to almost nothing. I don't know if we get cut off, but if you look over here on the left rib, there's our little pinched vein coming around, and it rolls right up into that slip for a little ways. It doesn't follow the slip very far, and it actually kind of trails off over here a little bit, but it rolls up there. You get a little waste coming in, almost like there was some movement during or just after the vein emplacement. This rib, it's much smaller, about 18 inches wide, down to about 12 over here. But I also want to come back and look at the slip we saw back here, because the vein does something similar. It rolls up into the slip, You get some waste gouged down into the vein. So it's almost like as the vein was getting in place, there was maybe a little bit of movement on these joints or these little tiny faults, and you were getting some rolling up action into the hanging wall. I don't know what that means past here. So our next 4 feet is going to be interesting because, again, the vein is supposed to come in. It's fairly flat now. It's supposed to roll up. It's supposed to dip up about 25 to 35 degrees is what it's doing on the surface, which is not too far away. And the raise is only about 20 feet this way, and it's also dipping up. So something's got to happen here real quick with the vein, and I'm not sure what it's going to be. I was all excited that we had a nice wide vein over here because I was thinking maybe we'd get another ore round, but I think we can scale off as much as we can here, put that in bags, but then this little slip fault thing, we'll poke some holes around and we can look in the bottom of the holes and see if we see ore, but I'm thinking our vein's pinching down to almost nothing. Well, it's been a really long day. We're tired. We got it all mucked out. We're ready to drill and blast again. A nice evening.
Still snow up in the mountains. I think they were in Washington.
Doesn't get much better than this.
You ready for air?
Yeah.
Air.
We are back to drilling the next morning, and a lot of you guys have been asking, how much does it cost to drill and blast around? I would say by far and away, the highest cost is the labor. So you got 2 guys, it pretty much takes us all day to get around, drilled, loaded, blasted. So you're probably talking about $1,000 in cost right there for the 2 guys. Then you've got powder. Stick powder is about $4 a pound. Ampho is only about 65, 69 cents a pound. So it's pretty cheap as far as powder goes. Caps are somewhere in the $10 to $15 a piece range. And so you're looking at a 25 or 30 cap round is going to be, let's say, $300. And then you've got another 50 pounds of Ampho, maybe a little bit more. So when it's all said and done, you got diesel, you got equipment, you got labor, you got everything all stacked on top of each other. It's probably about $1,500 or $2,000 to do a 4-foot round. If we did 6-foot rounds, it would be a little bit cheaper because it wouldn't take us a whole lot longer to drill 6-foot holes, and the powder that we used wouldn't be a whole lot more, and you're using the same amount of caps. So hopefully that clears up some of the questions you guys have had in the comments about how much does it cost to drill and blast around. What's going on? There's a slit back there about 3 feet. And it's all this brown, juicy stuff, but it's squeezing our holes. That was good. Yeah, see the zeros. We don't love this one, but the zero's full of crap on it. Oh, I can see it. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's all good. We just had our steel stuck real bad in that slit back there about 3 feet. What's that? Oh. I knocked the bit off. I'll show you what this looks like. We didn't catch it in time. It jammed a bunch of mud down the water holes, and it filled the inside of the bit up with mud, and now our steel's slugged. So we'll get a little piece of wire We'll jam it down that steel and see if we can unplug it.
Leslie, you still here?
Well, we've been going on this phase for a while. We're about halfway
Laura
down,
left.
and there's a
I don't know
nasty
if you
slip
caught
back
that.
there, about 3 to 4 feet.
We got 2 hours in.
Plugging our steel on it.
I don't think there's much audience tonight. I think I'm going to shut down.
Sometimes it'll stick the steel in there. We got to pull it out. It's a real pain. But we're about halfway done. We've got the other left rib here. The 3 on top. And then a
I don't know if
couple
you
rows at
missed
the
it or
bottom.
even care, but it's about $1,600 a shot
Boy, been making a little bit of water
with the
out of
labor,
holes. That's
drilling,
gonna be a problem.
the powder, the blasting
Slip back there
caps.
causes
It's pretty
grease.
amazing.
I thought
Every
it was gonna
time
be
we
a
see
straight,
them
easy
do this,
round.
it's $1,600, $2,000.
Well, the slip got us again.
Well,
This time it was
why don't we call it a night? I'll finish
And
this
I know
video.
It's back there. I know where it is. I'm trying to be real gentle with the
Catch you in the morning. Thanks for coming, and thanks for sharing a fine dinner. Sounds really good.
coming out of there. Ugh. So this is what we're dealing with on this round.
It's pretty incredible, especially if you go back, 1800s when they were doing this shit. When they were doing this shit in candlelight and using hand drills. Like, are you kidding me? Right now, they're trying to get a drill bit out. It got hung up. Damn. All right, we'll see you in the morning. Have a good night. Hope everything goes well at the farm. Thanks for coming, everyone. Thanks for your thumbs up. We'll catch you in the morning.